Well, hello folks, welcome back to Delboy's Garage. Now, today I want to carry on with this daft rope project, a bit of rope bondage on Project Damage. Project Damage being a rat bikes being ongoing. So I'm going to keep going forward, keep thinking of stupid ideas. I've done that rope on the back end as of a couple of videos ago. I'm going to do it on the front now, on the front mudguard slash fender, so it looks a bit more balanced, and then work my way down the sides over the next few videos. I've got to get it done because it changes colour. The minute this stuff gets out in the weather, my good friend Tom, Navy Thomas 8, check him out, he said as soon as it gets in the weather it's going to shrink, it's going to weather, it's going to change, and it has. I'll show you in a minute. It's amazing. This hemp stuff, when you buy it, it's all soft and floppy and indoor like grandma's slippers. As soon as you get it outside, it turns into solid steel. It's amazing stuff. Shrinks hugely as well. So when I do the fender, it's quite soft plastic, whereas the piece of metal on the back wasn't. It was quite stiff, and it's tightened up like stone. It really has. The front fender being soft plastic, like I said, if I tighten it up too much, it's going to lift it all and twist the fender about, so I've got to give it a bit of slack and kind of pre-allow for the shrinkage. So there's method, there's thinking in ratification. It's not just doing daft, stupid and ugly things. There's actually some thought behind it. So here we are, going to get on with it and stop waffling. So stick around, see what happens. Okay, this is the result from last time, and I tell you what, you really wouldn't believe how stiff that has gone. It's just literally like wood now. No jokes. It really is stiff. It's gone like solid stone. And that's good, because that's what I wanted. The last thing I wanted was it all flopping around and stretching. I didn't know whether it would stretch or shrink, and I guess all things that are a natural fibre will shrink, so that's cool. And I want to do that before it weathers too much. As you can see already, looking at the rest of it, it's already a different colour. That's weathered in a matter of probably a week or so since I did that last video. That's how it changes. Now I guess it won't go much darker than that. The crap and dirt will get on it, but it won't go a lot darker than that, I guess. I don't know. That looks more like the natural colour of hemp than that does. Now this is still soft, and I can still move it around and do what I need to. You couldn't do it with that. That has gone really hard. So before this is too different in colour, I want to get cracking on with the rest. And today's area of attention is going to be this. I'm going to pop some across here, do the same thing, drill along the side, quite obvious, feed it in, feed it out, across the top, come round and then go inside, just sort of feed it to the next one. So obviously I can't go over the tyre, so you'll see. Anyway, right, first I'm going to actually take the trouble to mark this one rather than just drill the holes, purely because I want it to look half decent. Now as that drill bit starts with a self tapper, just gives me a bradle hole and I can measure them a bit better. Right, first hole. Just love the way this drill bit cuts through. Once that self tapper gets hold, it leads it through. You just stop pushing on it. Just turn it slowly. Wonderful. It just takes it in a perfect clean hole. Right. Worth doing some measuring, might as well. So get it right. Okay. Now this particular bit of scrim, this was the first thing I scrimmed on the whole bike, and you can kind of hear there's a crunchiness about it, because rather than just glue it on and paint it over, with this I used fiberglass resin. I just was still experimenting with what to do. There it goes. So there's this crunch as it goes in. That's better, it's in now. And the fiberglass is makes this tough, much tougher than the rest. There we go. Just clean it up with Stanley. Right, next one. You can kind of measure them now. Centre to centre. Centre to centre. There. Might as well make it straight. Even though it's only a mess. Also, unlike the electric drill, this doesn't just burst through and fall in a heap like the other one did. So much more control with the bracing bit. There we go. Look at that. You take your time. What a clean hole that makes, eh? What a wonderful, perfect, round, clean hole it makes in your bodywork. If you're doing wiring, or somewhere you need to put some wiring through or access a panel, something like this, put in a crash bung where you have to drill a hole in your fairing, and you've got a nice fairing, put some masking tape over it, or duct tape to protect it in case it skids. Use one of them on one of them and you'll get one of them. Absolutely perfect. If you had duct tape over that and that was shiny bodywork, and then you pull the tape off, you get a perfect hole without any of that usual burning and smell and stuff from the heat. Much nicer way to drill holes in plastic. Okay, do the rest. Right, that's one side done. Again, can't believe how cleanly that drill bit cuts holes. If you need to drill holes in your bodywork, that's a drill bit to use. It's that tip that does the work. That some of you woodworkers out there probably tell me what it's called. As you can see, I've lost the tip off the self tapper, so I have to use a bradawl to make a hole, and it's seen better days. But the way that cuts and kind of slices its way through with this edge here, you get a fantastic smooth hole. And again, like I just said, that hole had to be cut for these crash bungs, and that's exactly the right way to do it. You can get these, I'm sure, right up to probably 2 inches or whatever. So excellent tool. Right, to the other side. There we go. Right, some of the scrim just gets rucked up when it's going in. Doesn't cut cleanly, but the hole in the actual plastic is still perfect. And no holes in the tyre. Okay. Now it's just a case of making it symmetrical. So I reckon measure from the centre of that to the centre of that one. Should end up with the same amount of holes at the end. Centre of that one. Yep. About there. Alright, holes all drilled. Nice and symmetrical. Let's get started with the rope. Alright, now starting it off, use these metal crimps that I made in the last video, just out of a strip of alley cut with the tin snips. So it makes a little shard which can be crimped. And someone asked me, why don't I just tie a knot in it? Well, simple reason why. If you tie a knot in it, it's kind of quite bulky, and that under there is going to just not work at all. Not to mention it eats that much rope, as you can see, just one knot, and that will do one pass. So not that I'm being stingy, I just didn't buy any more rope. So the idea is to bung these crimps on and go backwards down the line rather than forwards, purely because, no, I'm going to go forwards, backwards rather, purely because it would be easier to finish it off here working under there than it will working under there. So I just want to pop a crimp on the front first. Just make it as unobtrusive as possible under there, so it's not going to get in the way. I mean, there's a ridiculous gap anyway on the fender, so it's not a problem. And this nice bit of sharp metal as well cuts into the rope, sort of bites in. Normally cut this to length, but I did it last time thinking, oh yeah, that'll be about how much I need. Overestimated and wasted a metre of rope, which I'd rather have had connected to the rest. I'll have to just sort of use that in another fashion, but for now it's easier to just thread it all, even though it's a pain to thread it all through every hole twice, all the full length of it. I'll use it as sparingly as I can then. Right, here we are. That's the final. There's the first one of many. I don't do this too tight because, like I said, it shrinks hugely and I don't want this happening when it all pulls upwards, so I'm going to leave a little bit of slack in it. Too much, dude. Normally work with a bit less excess. Not too tight, but at the same time, I don't want it baggy. Said the actress to the fisherman. Right. Not too tight, like I said, but still nonetheless correct. Getting there now. Fiddly. Loads of fun. Right. I'm going to leave these a bit loose and then tighten them up after. There you go. Just threading it fast, baby. Right, last line, last pass. twist, twist, that's better. Right, plenty left I'd hope. Well, at least enough to do one of the sides, and that's the front. Right, I'm going to cut that yet. Go back down the line now. Put them where they naturally go, shortest distance between. Thread on. About 18 feet of this left. I bought 3, well I buy 10 metres, so that's 30 feet. So I've got just over half left, which is pretty good. Now I'll hide this by tucking it up under there. There is so much room under this fender, I won't have a problem with that, I'm quite sure. And then now, bit of a task, get rid of that now. Also don't want that sticking on the tyre, so thinking cap on. Right, now that has got to be, I have a cunning plan. I'll lock wire that up there. That's better. That'll be a better solution. Lock wire. Let's get some. Alright, here we are. That's another bit. There we are. Another bit there. Now there's no way that's coming undone now. So that's good. That's good, good. Yeah, I reckon there's at least a hand width between that plug and the tyre, so that's all good. Bit of grip fill over that just to hold them in place. Done. Right, there we are. Front mud guard, fender, whatever you want to call it, done. That will tighten up. Like I said, the difference between the two is huge. That it moves, but only kind of very little. And I'm sure that a couple of days in the rain, that'll be the same. So there we are, daftness. And of course, it's going to get a lot dirtier than the back piece as it takes the weather. Aerodynamically, I should imagine it's the last thing you want to do. But then looking at this thing, who cares about that? there we go, that's it, front mud guard done. Straighten it up a little bit, and just wait for the weather to take its course. So there we go, more of the same, daftness with project damage. The rope bondage thing is going to continue. I've got some plans for it down the sides, and with the engine cage we're going to add some for that, and some of the fork legs it's going to go a lot sillier yet. It's just a rat bike, it's just a bit of fun, and while the weather's like it is, while I haven't got a helmet camera or anything yet, we can't do any riding, certainly not taking the Hayabusa out in this weather, not when I've got a rat bike for that purpose. So take it easy, rat your bike, load it up, let's have a look what you're doing. This is the time to play in the garage, this is garage play time of year. Let's see your projects. There's not nearly enough on the tube at the moment. There's lots of car projects, but they all seem to have fallen by the wayside. I want to see some bike stuff. Let's get it loaded. If you know of a bike person, if you know of a rat biker who's doing stuff, send us a link. I love to watch it. I love to support them. We all need each other's support. Winter's here. Snow on the ground for many of you. Ride safe. Take it easy. It really is a bad time of year for falling off. It isn't cool. It isn't funny, and it bloody hurts. So as you get older, you'll realise it takes longer to heal as well. So there you go, ride safe. Let's get through the spring in one piece. See you for the next one.